This was the situation 3 weeks ago when people of Obianga and Ikonta communities woke to the occurrence of the devastating spill that has negatively impacted their livelihood. The over 45 minutes journey by speedboat from Okorete to the affected communities signposted their already challenged socioeconomic realities. Reviewing the situation, the team were shown round the impacted shores, including damaged fishing nets and the pollution dealt the river, which is the mainstay of their economy. The House Committee Chairman on Environment, Mr. Bassi, while assuring of the 8th Assembly's pro-people disposition, sympathized with the people on the occurrence, promising the committee will leave no stone unturned at ensuring right succor.
Today, as we have seen that there had been a massive oil spill on the shores of Eastern Obolo. Samples of the spill has been taken for the purpose of fingerprinting. We have seen for ourselves. I have also seen for myself, as chairman on the House Committee on Environment, the devastating effects of this spill. And I'm hoping that as we get back to the House of Assembly, every report that is needed for me to give as a committee will lay it on the floor of the House of Assembly. And the House of Assembly, which I know is people-friendly, will rise up to the occasion to salvage the situation that we have found in Eastern Obolo.
Chairman, Eastern Obolo Local Government Council, Elder Abraham Odion, while narrating the ordeal of his people, called for help to mitigate the negative impact of the spillage on the economy of the area.
The economic life of the people that are living here has been crippled by the effect of this oil spill. And you can find out that all throughout this beach and Atlantic shore, all through this span, you can see it all through. From where we started, you can go on and on and on and on. We need government intervention and the company that is responsible to fix the leakage, do the cleaning, and also give a compensation.
Village head of Obianga, Chief Humphrey Oyet, and representative of Ikonta, Chief Lavde Okworo, pleaded an extensive investigation to bring an end to the perennial crisis of oil spillage in their communities.
We reported this thing last time to our assembly. They pursued this thing to the extent that we don't know, even till today, nothing happened. This time around, this same thing happened. And we reported the same thing to House of Assembly.
This is the 4th time it has happened. And our people have been going down. A lot of people lost their nets. Most of their nets are not going to be used any longer. And since then, over 3 weeks now, that this thing happened, none of them have gone for fishing.
Other members of the community had this to say.
When we wake up in the morning, we get the oil spillage all everywhere. And since then till now, we cannot be able to fish anymore. So we need help from the government.
You can attest to what you have seen today. The people have been complaining bitterly. They are totally in distrust of the process. But we thank you for coming to help our people air out their view.
It was, however, worrisome that representatives of some of the oil companies declined joining the team on the visit, despite the adequate logistics plans put in place. Samuel Ayara, AKBC News.
Expressing the readiness of his ministry to discharge his responsibilities effectively, retired Captain Iniobong said that the Ministry of Lands is ready to allot lands at the Bom Industrial Park to serious entrepreneurs who are ready to make use of same in order to grow the economy of the state. He mentioned that the Dakada Luxury Estate with 385 plots along Airport Road is completed.
We have programs for this ministry, starting from the pilot first of its kind in this part of the world digital estate of Akwa Ibom State, the Dakada Lottery Estate. The Ministry of Lands has a responsibility to develop it in terms of sites, services, parcellation, and other utility provisions that will make it attractive to compete and compare with any estate of its kind anywhere in the world.
The commissioner, while soliciting the partnership of the media to enable his ministry deliver on its mandate, promised to work hard at interpreting the vision of the present administration in line with the Arise agenda and to deliver good governance to the people.
Government is meant to ensure improvement of livelihood for its people by way of security, by way of provisions of basic facilities and amenities, by way of job provisions and enhancement. You agree with me? If all lands were to be held as acquired possessions, nobody will have the opportunity of translating land to offices, to factories, to workshops that will later become points of work and engagement for industrial, commercial, and economic activities that will further enhance the welfare and well-being of the people. This, His Excellency and this particular administration has moved to stop. If you hold land that is for investable purposes, you must create that environment and make it investable.
The interaction featured question and answer session for clarification.
Otuekon Raphael Bassi urged contractors to speed up the work in order to put everything in place within the allotted time. He called on the contractors and site engineers to also look into internal road constructions and proper drainage system in order to achieve a good access to the estates.
Akwa Ibom State government is highly interested in seeing to the completion of this job. The supervisory team from the Ministry of Housing makes it a point of duty to visiting this place, advising on working to specification, advising on timelines, advising on when the project should be completed. Governor on his has done its own obligation, and I must confess this job is 100% funded. We are coming here to give you people today as the benefit of doubt and to appeal to the contractor to rise up and be alert to responsibilities in various areas of specification here.
The inspection took them round the estate's interiors and its surroundings to ascertain the way forward to the realization of the project's goal. They frowned at the contractor's slow work pace and called on them to put necessary finishing touches in place for prompt inauguration, as constant monitoring would be put in place to ensure the progress of the project as well as its completion on schedule.
Now available in new flavors.
It was a gathering for praises and worship by the church faithful, with songs and renditions by the angel voices and the inner temple choir. The church chairman, Senior Apostle Godwin Tude, explained that the Founders' Day celebration was commemorative of the founder of the church, Leader Tete Thompson Edem's response to God's call to serve him on August 13, 1964, and that the church is thankful for God's sustenance and guidance all through the 59 years of its existence.
Today, we can say convincingly that in this our generation, God has chosen a prophet. Amen. He chose leader ETN, and at the appointed time, after a successful sojourn in the Lord's right here, get down some the key one. But before that, he gave him a hindsight. Gave him foresight. He spoke to him and spoke through him and put amongst us one of the dear sons.
The president of the church, Leader Ikong E.T. Edem, said he is grateful to God for his love and guidance to the church and for helping him lead successfully over the past 11 years since his father handed over the mantle of leadership to him. He said the success of the church is as a result of support and collaborations of members and friends of the church.
I am highly elated to celebrate the growth of my father's work at 59, not only because of the number of years, but the quality of service to God and humanity. Brother, I am not surprised about the journey.
Speaking at the event, the president and founder of the foundation, Dr. Glory, said that the gesture was a conscious effort to identify with the theme of this year's celebration, but with a focus on sustainable agriculture. Dr. Edip said the green skills in agricultural sector focus on sustainable farming practices agroforestry and efficient management, noting that the foundation will assist multiple birth parents and children, the less privileged, widows, orphans, and also train young ones in different entrepreneurial skills in order to key into this year's International Youth Day celebration through distributing seedlings and hybrid plantain suckers free of charge. She urged the beneficiaries to take advantage of the training to improve themselves and maximize the yield.
We are marking the International Youth Day, the issues surrounding the youth in the global society. Because one of the things we want to encourage in this foundation is for youth to live up to expectations. And that is why we are here today. Specifically, we've selected some of the vegetable farmers who will distribute these seedlings, the tomato seedlings and the plantain suckers to the vegetable farmers.
Also speaking, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Ofyong, lauded the initiative and the impact of Dr. Gloridit, as well as the foundation, in joining the participants to take the training seriously.
Maurice Nezar and Glow Foundation, now you are doing a great job. Congratulations on this foundation. And you are going places. You have already started, and you are moving very fast. Agriculture is the way forward now. You don't need to look down on yourself, and don't allow anybody to look down on you, because if man does not eat food, he cannot reason properly.
In her remarks, the coordinator of the Akan Glow Foundation, Mrs. Jane Michael Essien, stated that a sustainable society cannot be attained without agriculture, hence the need for the youth and everyone to be involved in agriculture, adding that the foundation's theme, Green Skills for Sustainable Agriculture, is taken on the 2023 Youth Celebration theme, but with a focus on sustainable agriculture.
So to celebrate the 2023 International Youth Day, a foundation known as Maurice Nezar Akan Glow. This foundation is poised. We want to go back to that era of commercial farming, intensive farming, so that we can have enough food to eat and to sell.
In a goodwill message, the representative of Akwa Ibom State Youth in Agriculture, Prince Ofyong, said Dr. Gloridit did not have a foundation when she started saving lives, describing himself as a beneficiary of her magnanimity. The participating farmers were also trained on the preparation of vegetable nurseries, planting with efficient management to maximize profits and maintain quality by the resource person, Dr. Emmanuel Akpan. Goodwill messages were presented by the state chairman of Farmers Association of Nigeria, Prince Basinwang, Mrs. Benedict Udo-Ekwere, leaders of different vegetable farming cooperatives. They appreciated the foundation for making the day with a sub-theme tied to agriculture and the distribution of seedlings.
The passion, the values that you have, that you can develop something that can support the society to be sustainable.
Thank the president of Maurice Nezar Akan Glow Foundation. We've been planting for the past few years. Thank you.
It's very interesting to us. I want to tell you thank you. You have done well.
This woman, who is the visionary of Maurice Nezar Akan Glow Foundation, had the heart of helping others.
I'm very happy today to be part and parcel of this agricultural empowerment.
The participants went home with hybrid plantain suckers and some vegetable seedlings. Eyagenopo, AKBC News.
President Bola Tinubu has said the federal government will take measures to maintain the current pump price of premium metal spirits, otherwise known as petrol, in the country without a reversal of its policy on subsidy removal. He also said the threat by the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) to shut down the economy over rumored plan to further increase fuel prices was premature, stressing it was incumbent on all stakeholders to maintain their peace. The president assured that there would be no further increase in the price of petrol in any parts of the country. As positioned, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company (NNPC) Limited has collaborated. This came as the Kenyan government, which also removed fuel subsidies at the time Nigeria did the same, reintroduced the fuel subsidies to curb soaring prices of petrol, kerosene and diesel in the country, though for 30 days. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, disclosed these while briefing State House correspondents at the presidential villa shortly after meeting with President Bola Tinubu on the issues, especially following threats by Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) to go on strike without notice if fuel price was again increased. The suspended Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele will tomorrow, Thursday, 17, be arraigned alongside an associate, Saadatu Yaro, for 6.9 billion naira fraud at the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja. Emefiele, who has been in detention since his suspension from office on June 9, was accused of conferring corrupt advantages on Yaro, a director in April 1616 Investment Limited. In the charge jointly signed by the Director of Public Prosecutions, Federal Ministry of Justice Muhammad Abubakar, Deputy Director of Public Prosecution Nkiru Jones Nebo, and 8 other ministry officials, the 3 accused persons are alleged to have bought a fleet of over 98 exotic vehicles and armored buses valued at about 6.9 billion naira. Some of the vehicles bought between 2018 and 2020 included 84 Toyota Hilux vehicles, 10 armored Mercedes-Benz buses, 3 Toyota Land Cruisers, and 1 Toyota Avalon car. And with that, we'll end the news tonight. But just before we go, a quick look at the recap. To carry every indigene of the state along in the programs and policies of the Arise agenda, Governor Moino has pledged his readiness to partner the Akwa Ibom community in Abuja to provide Akwa Ibom indigenes working with the Federal Civil Service a housing scheme so they could have affordable accommodation. In response to outcry from people of Eastern Obolo local government area over a reported oil spill in some communities, the State House of Assembly, during an investigative tour of the area yesterday, promised to leave no stone unturned in finding lasting solutions to situations which has negatively impacted their livelihood. And we also brought you a report that President Bola Tinubu has said the federal government will take measures to maintain the current pump price of premium motor spirit, otherwise known as petrol, in the country without a reversal of its policy on subsidy removal. That's the news this night. Thanks for staying with us. Good night.